Welcome to the SmileLine podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to give real information from doctors and patients about our SmileLine prosthetic and the sequence of appointments. For more information, check out our website or give our office a call. Hope you enjoy today's episode. All right, guys, welcome back to the SmileLine podcast. I'm here with Jen. You just had your 90-day follow-up, upper and lower, right?
Yes.
What made you agree to this podcast? What makes you want to come on here?
I've had a lot of friends in the future, past and present, that really have had a lot of dental issues. We have similar fears. The fear of being in a dentist chair, it causing more pain, it not doing any help. That was pretty much where I had been, years of working on little fixes here and there, and then I'd go in and I'd still feel these giant gaps in air that would cause a lot of pain. And when I would talk to some of my friends, they're having the same issues. The biggest thing was that this was probably the best experience I've ever had with a dentist all the way through. And I mean, you've literally taken out all of my teeth and given me new ones. And now that I'm talking to some of those people, they're just really shocked. They're really shocked at how I can actually smile again, and that it really is only been a few months and I'm healed. I feel great. They've never heard me scream in pain. They've never heard me whine about the healing process because it wasn't bad. It wasn't as bad as all of the other experiences I've had up to this point. And it's just been really amazing. I'm pushing, I guess, most of them to get this procedure done just by the great experience I've had and the way that it's just all working out. Like, my health issues are a whole different issue than now what I've got going on here. And my friends have been really open about how that's kind of changed their perspective on what they can do for themselves. I've seen several of them that have come back from military operations, and they absolutely are afraid to go get their teeth taken care of. But mostly it's just because of they're not ready to start the process. Myself, I was ashamed of even asking for the help. I thought maybe I had done this to myself, and that I deserved to be in this type of pain. But watching my children go through, certain dental procedures made me realize it's not my fault. I would never blame them for some of the things that they've mistaken, were just regular dental hygiene issues. But then there was other things that made it worthwhile to put my fear aside and show them that I was strong enough to get it done. But I shook through the whole process. My kids really held my hand, and they told me that they thought I could do it. But they'll tell you in the beginning, all the way up until the surgery, I was super nervous about it. I did not think that in reality that this was just going to be so much better. But I was so tired.
Yeah. Which is normal, though. I mean, whenever you even say, yeah, I'm getting all my teeth taken out. That's a scary proposition. And then you're getting implants in your bone for the teeth to attach to. Just on the surface, that sounds scary. And that's where, all the education comes in of hey, this is our process. We do this, every day. And here's our results. And that's why we got you on the podcast, for you to talk about those results.
Yeah, I really appreciated when I was coming in for the consultations. You were the first person that I met with, and you gave me more information that I was even asking for. And even though I did ask for a lot, I had already done a lot of research on different procedures, and I absolutely knew I did not want a regular set of dentures. A lot of family members that had gotten them having problems with chewing or just keeping them in, getting them lined up. A lot of anxiety there with that type of solution. I'd already looked into some Snap-ons, and when I came into you guys, and you were already very versed in what I was going through. It seemed like I was not telling you any new information, and it was very helpful to hear that there was a solution that I was looking for. It was all in one day. Everything was going to be taken care of. And when I came out, I was going to have a pair of teeth that I could actually walk out with. And that's exactly what happened. I was not the only skeptical one in my family. I would say, I think everyone that we did actually tell beforehand had some reservations about what was going to happen, and did not help me with my anxiety about whether or not I was going to feel fear or feel pain on the day of the surgery or afterwards, actually.
Yeah, you hit on several things there that, we've tried to build this thing. I mean, because the technology's gotten so good where, we've tried to mold this into what patients want. And like you hit on, I got family members, they have removable prosthetics, they struggle to chew, they struggle to line up, they're consistently falling out. There's, Snap-ons are an upgrade from the straight removable ones, but they have just a litany of problems themselves. And, we just looked at that and like, hey, well, let's make something better. Your natural teeth that you were born with, they don't come in and out of your mouth, right? Let's give you something back that stays in place. And then, hey, teeth the same day. Nobody wants to walk around without teeth. You can leave with a smile. All those things. We've kind of based it on that. And then you had the backstory and I always love patients that come in and they've already done their research. They've already thought about it. Hey, what do I want? What's out there? Because then I just get to come in and be like, hey, this is what we got. And then they see that and they're like, yep, that's what I want.
That's exactly what my experience was, is I was coming in looking for a solution. I'd already been to a facility that was offering the Snap-on, and I didn't feel like that was, if I was going through the process of getting the implants, I wanted the teeth to stay in, mainly because I like to chew steak, and I felt like even a Snap-on version, if I was yanking on that steak hard enough, it was probably going to bring my teeth out. And it's just not something that I needed to happen. So, hearing that you had a permanent implant solution was exactly what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, that's awesome. So now I'm going to take you back to surgery day. You were, I'm sure, nervous. I'm sure everybody was nervous. How was your surgery experience? Because, the surgery is the one variable there where, depending on how well you become sedated, and I didn't look back. Did we do oral conscious sedation for you? Or okay. So, the results vary there depending on how well we can sedate a patient. So can you kind of touch on that and how your surgery experience was?
Sure. The night before, you guys already knew that I was going to be nervous. And so I was given, I'm not sure what it was. I was given something the night before to help sleep, and it worked because...
The good stuff.
The good stuff, yeah.
That's what you were given.
And I did. I had a great night's sleep the night before, which was wonderful because all the days leading up, I was having nightmares. And then that morning, we came in. Everything seemed very calm and ready for us. I came in, and everybody was really just kept me comfortable. And then I didn't have any problems with the sedation. I was awake, which again, had gotten me nervous in the prior days, but I never felt any pain. I felt even slight pressure just moving my head around. And even when I mentioned that even caused any pressure, they were immediately on top of it to make sure that the oral was given. And I thought I was going to be bored. I think because of how long it was going to be, and it didn't last as long as I had originally assumed it was going to. It was kind of boring, but for the most part, I was just looking around and watching what was going on, and most things that you do while you're in the dentist's office, hoping you're not in the way, hoping you don't cause any problems. And I was just really surprised how quickly they were able to tell me, okay, we've got all your teeth out. And I hadn't felt anything. At that point, there was actually a lot of relief because that had been a prior issue for me in extractions, not getting numb. So I think this was actually the first time I'd ever had any kind of extraction and not felt it. The team seemed on top of stuff. Like, they were moving. I don't remember a lot of downtime. But yeah, the surgery day itself just seems kind of like a long blur. If I'd even had music, I don't even know if I would have been able to pay attention to, what was going on, because it just seemed like things were happening all around me.
Yeah, that sounds like, your sedation went really well. And that's the way we want it. I mean, that's what the patient wants. They wanted that day to just kind of be a blur and be like, oh yeah, it was fine, long day, kind of boring, but yeah, went fine. And that's the way we want it. And then our team, being that we do this every day, the team just gets so many reps, and we stay as efficient as possible. And even since your surgery, we've done some things on the back end designed to actually make it a little bit quicker. So they're actually getting faster, which is nice. Yeah, we love that. So then we got you in your temps that day. How was your temporary process? Because we keep you in your temporary to verify the tooth position before we make your finals. That way, hey, the teeth are amazing. We already know that before we get to the final. So how was your temporary process?
I was so surprised how they were already fit. There was very little adjustment that had to happen. And I was really shocked at how closely they looked to my original teeth before they had holes in them. That they really were matching some of that, aesthetic. So I feel like they did a little bit of the staining like they normally do when you get a filling. You bite down and then they do a little bit of the grinding. Yep. But other than that, there wasn't a lot of rubbing. The area between underneath where they had set it on seemed to be real fit. I feel like it was a little bit, I don't want to say sore, but there was a little bit of pressure when they first tighten them down. And then when I come back for the second adjustment, there was a little bit where you could feel one side was still healing, I guess was what you would call it. But other than that, it was, they just fit. They were already so close to being what I have now in my permanents. They were just right on and just amazing. I did find that after a few weeks, because I'm a heavy coffee drinker, that the temporaries do stain. Yep. But not significantly. And of course, it was really nice to find out that was just a temporary thing, not a permanent tooth thing. Yeah. The temporaries are 3D printed in the dental resin. And what we found, kind of backstory. When we originally got that dental resin, we were told, hey, it doesn't stain, it doesn't do this. And we were like, oh, we might be able to make finals with this. And then we started doing that. And we're like, that's not the case. You can't do that. To touch on that one side, being adjusted and feeling like it's still healing, what that is from is the one variable we don't know is whenever we take a patient's teeth out is how their tissue heals. So it swells and then it heals back. And we take scans that day, and then that tissue swells and heals, and we don't really know exactly to what level it's going to heal back to, and so we just have to do sometimes a little more adjusting there and relieve a little more of the prosthetic so it's not pushing on the tissue. Pretty straightforward though. Okay, so then we're going to jump. We delivered your finals, and now you've been in your finals for 90 days, 3 months, right? How you liking them? I love them. I absolutely love them. They they get a lot of conversation from family members. I believe my brother, when I asked him, I said, did you see my new teeth? He said, how could I not? I saw them from across the room. They're really well done. I feel like I chew so much better. My talking has finally gotten to the point where I understand the lisp that I had. It's not there anymore, but it took a little bit of adjusting. But no, I absolutely love these. They've been so beneficial to my life.
That's good. Honestly, that's good. Yeah. I know I look at this morning, I looked at your before and afters from your intake and now, and I was like, that's a beautiful smile.
Thank you.
Yeah, it really is. And then one thing to touch on the chewing, how well are you chewing right now?
Amazingly. I'm not technically supposed to be eating meat, but I do cook them pretty tender. So I haven't had any problems with any chewing issues, definitely in the last month. At the very beginning, when you're chewing on things, you can kind of feel I don't know, it feels like you have something not real teeth. You've almost got a mouth guard in your mouth. But now I'm actually feeling the, what do you call that? The tactile.
How they're closing, when they're coming in occlusion and just hitting together just right.
Right. So that was probably the biggest just weird adjustment, is that they're not really my teeth, but now they actually feel like I'm getting some of that sensory back.
What you said right there is exactly right. And we tell patients that when you have natural teeth, you can really feel like when you close down and hit your teeth together, you can feel that. With the prosthetics now, like that's a new feeling. That's a different sensation. And a lot of times it's a different space because some people are way over closed and we have to open them back up. So their jaw actually has to close to a different position. And there's always a learning curve there because you don't have that sensation of feel like right when you close down right in the beginning.
Yeah, it almost feels like they're like my brain's connecting the spot now, though. Mm-hmm. I feel when I'm touching them and clicking them or chewing something now.
Yeah. On your intake form, whenever you at your original consultation, you mark 3 out of 10. That's how you were chewing. Missing back teeth, chewing out of 3 to 10. I want to chew better. Mm-hmm. We check that box off?
Yes, we can absolutely do that. One of the things I didn't realize that I was going to absolutely love about this is being able to wake up in the morning and take a deep breath in. I did not realize how scared I was of the air brushing across my teeth. Mm-hmm. And so it has been a new welcome morning tradition of just taking in cold air through my mouth and feeling great about it.
Well, that's awesome. So any final closing words about your process or your SmileLine teeth?
I would recommend it to anybody that got prosthetics and they just don't want to deal with the up and down, or this is going to be their first prosthetic, or even any of the, if you're missing any teeth, because I feel like this is really the only way to go. This has absolutely been a wonderful, it has improved my life by a lot. I would say that the dentist that sent me here, though, however, she did a wonderful job for a year trying to fix my bottom teeth. Mm-hmm. And it is not against other dentists who are trying to make your natural teeth work for you. This is really when you're ready for that solution. I don't want to ever recommend a regular denture to anybody because I've just seen the struggles that the rest of my family has. So, yeah, if you have to get any kind of denture, these implants are the best. And you guys are the best people to work with.
Very well said, Jen. I appreciate all the kind words. I love looking at your smile.
My husband says, better to look at now, too. Or not so hard to look at, I guess.
It was worth it.
Yes, it was.
It was worth it. All right. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
And I'll be seeing you at your next visit, okay?
Yes.
All right. See you guys.